ओंकारबिंदु संयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओम शरगुरुजी महादेव की जय। देवादिदेवेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्रीदीप नारायण भगवान की जय। हिंदू धर्म सम्राट परमहंस स्वामी श्री माधवानंद प्रभु सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय। विश्व गुरु महामंडलेश्वर परमहंस स्वामी श्री महेश्वरानंद प्रभु योगिराज की जय। Hari Om everyone. As you might have all heard about the great happening of Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, if you have heard the Katha, the Puran of Mahabharata, you might have known that there were two parties, Pandavas and Kauravas. There were 5 brothers on this side and there were 100 on this side. So the Pandavas, there was something which happened, and due to that reason, the Pandavas were sent for 12 years of exile and 1 year of agyatwas, which means they have to be incognito. They can't show anyone who they are. No one should recognize them, no one should recognize their identity. And if they get caught, or if someone catches them on the 13th year, when they were in their agyatwas, then they would have to again go for 12 years into the forest for the exile period. It would again be 12 years. So that period, after the exile of 12 years had passed, in the 13th year they were all in the Matsya Desh, and Duryodhana was in his palace, and he was talking to Dronacharya and Bhishma Pitama. And his spies were coming and saying, Yuvraj, Prince, we couldn't find them. We couldn't find the Pandavas anywhere. We searched for them in every city, in every kingdom. No clue of where they are. Then Duryodhana said, let's wait, maybe the next spy who will come, maybe he knows something about it. The next spy comes, no clue. We have no idea where he is. Then Duryodhana was talking to Bhishma Pitama and to his guru, and he was saying that, oh Gurudev, I think they died. I think they were killed, or they were starving to death and they died. Because if my spies are searching for them so much, and if my spies couldn't catch them, couldn't find them, that means they are dead. So then they said, Bhishma Pitama said, no, I saw his hands, I saw the destiny, I saw his palm. Excuse me. I saw his palm, and I know that they are Chiranjeevis. They have a long life ahead of them. They are not going to die so soon, so don't think they are dead. Then Duryodhana thought, okay, something is fishy, I don't know where they are. So one spy then comes in the conversation, when he was having a conversation with Bhishma Pitama. The spy comes and he says, Yuvraj, I would like to tell you something. And Duryodhana said, yes, what do you want? He said, in Matsya Desh, in our neighboring state, their head of the state, not the king, but the next to the king, the head of the army, in Hindi we call him the Senapati, the general. The general, his name was Kichak. And Kichak got into a fight with some very strong man, who was accompanied by his brothers, and they had a fight or argument because of some women. So that time Duryodhana said, maybe this is one of the other stories. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for me. Why should I care about it? Then Bhishma Pitama said, no, let's think about it. Look, a very strong man. There are only 3 people who could kill Kechak. Only 3 people. One is Shalya, one is Balaram, and one is Bhim. Shalya wouldn't do it. Balaram has nothing to do with Kichak or to the Matsya dish. So who is left? Bhim. So it has to be Bhim. Bhim must have done this. Then they were said, okay, a very strong man, which means Bhim, accompanied by his brothers, which means it has to be the Pandavas. The matter was because of a woman, which means Draupadi. So this is the best scenario. What else could it be? It has to be them. So then Duryodhan told, I will send my whole army behind them to Matsadesh to capture them. His intentions was not at all to harm them or to kill them. No. His intention was just to capture them, to find them. Paradukha Sukhi, which means to give trouble or to give kashta, to give sadness to someone else, makes Duryodhan happy. His job was, after 12 years in the forest, the 1 year of Agyatwas, if he catches them, then they have to repeat those 12 years again. And that just gives him happiness. So he sent his army behind them to Matsadesh to try to capture them, to try to find them. And Duryodhan's friend, his name was Susharma. Susharma said, I will also send, let me also participate in that. I will send my army with you because the king of Matsadesh, Virat, he is my enemy. So it's also something good for me. So I will also send my enemy, my troops with you, and we both can put our troops together and find them. My job will be done because I will take revenge from King Viraj, and your job will be done because you will find the Pandavas. So they agreed on this. Susharma's army came from one side of the Matsanagar, and the Kaurav army of Duryodhan, came from the other side. So Sharma, what he did, he went to the cow stable and he took the cows away. He started stealing the cows. And that news went to Virat, the king of the Matsadesh. He was in some other state at that time. He was outside, he was not in his kingdom. But he said, now I will go immediately to my kingdom. And his secretary, who was King Yudhishthir himself. But they were in this Agyatavas, they were incognito. So they were all dressed up different, all 5 brothers. So the secretary, Virat, didn't know that this is Yudhishthir. So he said, Yudhishthir says, oh Maharaj, don't worry. You know those two brothers who work for us in the cow stable? They know a little bit how to fight. They will protect it. I know them. They will protect the cows. Don't worry about it. Who were those 2 brothers in the cow stable? Nakul and Sahadev. They know a little bit of fighting. Little bit. Not much. Little bit. They were Kshatriyas. They knew how to fight, obviously though. So they fought to Virat's army. Virat ran away with his army. The cows came back safely. But that news immediately went to the Kauravas. The Kauravas army, the Yudhishthir army, that 2 brothers who were just taking care of the cows, they are so strong and powerful that they sent Virat himself away. So Duryodhan started attacking from this side. So the king Virat, he was in another state, so he couldn't go. So the army general or someone, he ran and came to Virat, his son. And Virat's son, his name was Uttar Kumar. So they came, Yuvraj, there has been an attack from the Kauravas on us. So please come and you need to fight them. Virat was a bragger. He was a #1 bragger. He used to brag about everything. In 1957, I did this. I was the greatest warrior. I accompanied my army and fought this war. And I did this in this year. He used to brag about everything and anything possible, especially to women, because women used to get impressed. Oh my God, really? You are such a great warrior. You fought this king. Oh wow, we are so impressed. We're so impressed that we are with a man like you, who has done so much in his life. Wow. So then when the army chief came to him and said, Yuvraj, there has been an attack, come, we need to fight. Your father is not here, so you are in charge, you have to lead us. Then Uttar Kumar started getting scared, because in reality he is nothing. He's just bragging about everything. So Uttar Kumar said, oh, my ladies, don't worry, I will be with you. I'm really sorry, I can't go with you. My charioteer, the driver of my chariot, he's not here. And if he's not here, who will drive my chariot? Then Draupadi, who was also there, she heard that conversation, and she told to Uttar Kumar's sister, to the princess, "Oh princess, go and tell your brother that eunuch, who was Arjun, he or she, whatever you want to call it, they all were disguised. So eunuch was Arjun, the teacher dancer. She or he, whatever you want to call it, he will go and accompany him and be the driver for his chariot, and he will take Uttar Kumar for the fighting." Sorry. So then eunuch came, and then he said, "Oh, okay." Now he had no choice, Uttar Kumar now had to go because now he got the driver. His excuse was, "I don't have anyone to drive my chariot." Now Arjun was eunuch. Eunuch came and said, "Let's go, Yuvraj." As soon as they reached the battleground, Uttar Kumar got off the chariot and started running on the opposite direction. And just imagine how funny or stupid does this scenario look. The whole Kaurava army is coming to fight a great king, and the Yuvraj, the prince of that kingdom, Uttar Kumar, he's running the opposite direction, and behind him eunuch is running. Look at how funny this scenario, just imagine how funny this scenario looks like. So Arjun, eunuch, he catches him and says, Uttar Kumar, come on, you have to fight this." He said, No, I'm sorry, I was just bragging all my life. I don't know how to fight, I'm very scared, I will get killed and I don't want to die in such a young age. So then Arjun said, "Okay, Uttar Kumar, you will be the chariot driver and I will fight. And do you know at least how to ride the chariot?" He says, "In 1800 and this century," whatever the time was at that time. He again started bragging. He said, Arjun said, Shh, I didn't ask you this. Just tell me, do you know how to drive the chariot or not? Just give me a simple yes or no answer." He said, Yes, I can manage, no problem." So Arjun said, "Okay, you drive, I will fight." Then Arjun, eunuch, he went on the back of the chariot and he was driving Uttar Kumar. And he said, "Uttar Kumar, take me to that tree over there. Take me to that tree and I need something from there." He said, "I don't trust you to fight." He said, "Chalo, I didn't ask you, let's go." So Uttar Kumar drives Arjuna to that tree. And in that tree, Arjuna had hidden the Gandiv, his bow, which was named Gandiv, and all the astras and shastras, all the arrows and the Brahmastra and all the different Agni Astra and all the arrows and superpowers which he had hidden it all in that tree. So Arjun took those, he put one arrow on his Gandiv, on his bow, and he shoots that arrow, and that one arrow converts into millions and penetrates all the army soldiers, and they all run from there and go back. And then when the war was over, they all ran away, and the warriors who went to Yudhishthira again, and they were all surprised. This power, such a great power, can only be in Gandiv, in the bow of Arjuna. And when Uttar Kumar saw the bow after the war, Uttar Kumar said, "How do you know how to do this all?" Then Arjuna, in a jokingly way, he said, "Uttar Kumar, when you were bragging and enjoying your life with the women, I was here practicing. But this is Gandiva, this is the bow of Arjuna." He says, "Yes, I am Arjuna." He said, "You are the Arjuna?" Arjuna said, "Yes, I am that Arjuna." He says, "Oh, I will go in my kingdom and tell everyone that you are the Arjuna and I was fighting with Arjuna." He says, No, this you can't do. I am in my 13th year, you need to keep your mouth shut." He said, No, I will tell. Then Arjuna said, "Okay, I will go and tell all the women there that you were such a coward, you started running away and you didn't do anything." Then he said, Okay, Arjuna, I agree, I will not tell anyone." He said, "Promise?" He said, "Okay, then you also promise that you will not tell the women, you will say that I fought very well." He said, "Sure." There's one more story from the Mahabharata. There's a similar story from the same era, from the same period when they were in the exile, Pandavas. Then Duryodhan, at that time it was in the period of those 12 years. So then Duryodhan said, he went with some of his friends and he said, "Let's go and show them how rich and how luxurious life we're living, as they are all in this beggar clothes and they are eating fruits and whatever they can find. let's go and show off how rich we are. So on the way there was one pond. It was in the Kamyavan. Kamyavan comes in Vrindavan. And in the Kamyavan there was a pond where the Gandharvas, where the great Devtas, Gandharvas are from the heaven. They were having bath in the Kandivan, in the pond. Duryodhana said, please get out, I will have now a bath with my friends. Shoo, get away, get away. Gandhis got very angry. They said, no, we are Gandhivas, Gandharvas, sorry, not Gandiva. Gandiva was the name of the bow of Arjuna. Gandharvas, we are the Gandharvas, we will have a bath here. We are already having a bath, we are the Gandharvas, you go. Yudhishthira got angry, he started saying, okay, I will have a fight with you, I will kick you out of this pond. Gandharvas are Gandharvas, they are from the heaven. They sung the Chakshushi mantra. Chakshushi mantra is basically the mantra which made them invisible. So all the Gandharvas were invisible and they started shooting arrows towards Yudhishthira. And Yudhishthira was now helpless, he couldn't do anything. So Yudhishthira's wife then immediately ran to, not Yudhishthira, Duryodhana. I'm really sorry, I'm mixing up. Duryodhana was completely helpless. So Duryodhana's wife ran to Yudhishthira. And at that time she ran to Yudhishthira and said, oh Bhratashri, oh brother, please save your brother, he is also your brother. So Yudhishthira said to Bhim, oh Bhim, go and help our brother Duryodhana. Bhim said, why? This is good that it happened to him. What we wanted has happened to him. Let him suffer now. Then Yudhishthira said, oh brother, we are 100, we are 5 and they are 100. When we have our internal fights, then we are only 5 fighting with 100 of them. But when there's some outsider troubling any of the brothers, then we are united. We are 105. So then Bhim said, no, I'm not going to go. Arjuna said, okay, I will go. Arjuna was a very spiritual guy. In his tapasya, he learned that Chakshushi mantra. So then when Arjuna went there, he sang the Chakshushi mantra and all the Gandharvas again came in their form, and then he fought with them and the Gandharvas left. And then Duryodhana was very ashamed and he also went back. And if you know, in the Mahabharatas, when the Mahabharata war was starting, then Dhritarashtra, the father of Duryodhana, wanted to know, he was a blind guy. Dhrita means holding, Rashtra means the country. So even though he was blind, he couldn't let go of his post as a king. He was holding on towards his kingdom, but he couldn't see. So his ego wasn't raising up. He wanted to see. So what did he do? He got someone as spiritual as Sanjay. Samjay. Sam literally means samyak rupena, completely. Jay means win. So someone who has he has won completely on himself. So Sanjay, he had someone as Sanjay to see and to tell him. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsva mamaka Pandavas sheva kima kurvata Sanjay. This is the first verse, the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Kima kurvata Sanjaya, what are they doing? Please tell me, Sanjay. Oh Sanjay, tell me what is happening in the battlefield. Sanjay was thinking, Sanjay might have thought, this is my interpretation, it's like, Maharaj, there are there's enemies of each other, they both are in the battlefield. So obviously, what are they going to do? They're going to fight. They're going to have a war between each other. What else is going to happen in a battlefield? And then Yudhishthira started thinking. In the 1 year when they were all incognito, Bhima was able to kill the great warrior Kichak. In the Kamyavan, Arjuna was able to defeat the Gandharvas. So now he was imagining that Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakul and Sahadev, who were able to defeat Susharma, all 5 brothers, and Krishna who is with them in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. How will now my son win? How will my sons, all the 100 sons, how will they win? Please, Sanjay, tell me that they didn't die. Tell me that they are fine. Tell me that they didn't run away from the battlefield. Please tell me that they won this battle. So Sanjay, why was Sanjay chosen for this post? Why did Dhritarashtra, such a big king, go to Sanjay for knowledge? Vyasa prasadena Shrutva, which means the guru of Sanjay was Vyas, and he heard all this from Vyas. And the person who has a guru, is the greatest person. God is close to the one who is the Shishya or who has a guru. That's why Sanjay could see the whole battle unfolding through his Divya Shakti. He could see when Krishna took his avatar to show Arjuna, then Sanjay could see it, and he was telling everything. He was telling everything to Dhritarashtra. So, in our lives, to find someone, let's say, I will give you one example. Let's say someone gives us 15 different ingredients in a kitchen. I personally, to tell the truth, I only know how to cook chapatis and maybe dal. I don't know how to cook many things. So if someone gives me 15 to 20 ingredients and says, cook something of that way, I won't be able to cook something very delicious. If someone gives that same thing to a motherly figure, to a mother, she obviously knows how to cook the ingredients in a proper food. So in the same ways, when we read to find the reality of this world, to know the reality and to attain the self-realization, we need a guru. So when in the same way, like the mother knows how to use those ingredients in a proper way to create a beautiful, delicious meal, we don't know how to do that. So in the same way, when we have some holy scriptures, when we have Srimad Bhagavad Gita, or when we have Mahabharata or Ramayana, in the Shastras, the language of the Shastra is very deep and profound, that we all as human beings, we don't know how, even we will manage to read it, but we won't be able to know the meaning, the true meaning or the true translation of it. When we read it, maybe we know how to read it, but the translation for us becomes different. There's one example in the Mahabharata, in the Srimad Mahabharata, there's a shloka. Keshavam patitam drishtva Pandava harsha nirbhara rudanti kauravaha sarvehe ha ha Keshava Keshava. The literal meaning of it, what do we understand from this shloka? Keshavam patitam drishtva. Seeing a Keshava, seeing a Krishna falling down of his chariot, Pandava harsha nirbhara. The Pandavas were laughing and were very happy and clapping. Oh wow, Krishna fell, oh wow, Krishna fell. Rudanti kauravaha sarve. Ha ha Krishna, Keshava Keshava. And all the Kauravas started crying. Oh ha ha Keshava, hi Keshava, hi Keshava. You fell down. Well, what is the true meaning? Who can explain us the true meaning? The person who is more knowledgeable. Who is more knowledgeable in cooking? A motherly figure. Who is less knowledgeable? Us. So when we read this shloka, what will we understand? Krishna fell down of his chariot. The Pandavas were very happy and laughing and clapping. And the Kauravas were the ones who were crying and having tears in their eyes. And they were saying, Hi Krishna, Hi Krishna. But who do we need? The most knowledgeable person, a Guru, a Shrestha Shri Gurudev, who can come and explain us the true meaning of this shloka. Keshava patitam drishtva. Keshava. Shava means a dead body. Keshava. Oh, look at this dead body. Patitam drishtva. Oh, look, this dead body which fell down and which is lying here. Pandava harsha nirbhara. Pa andava. Pa andava. Andava means egg. Pa means under the water. So, who are the eggs under the water? They are the fish. The fish said, "Oh, see," to his fellow fishes, "Oh, see, there is a dead body lying in the water." And they all were Harsha Nirbara, they all were with joy and happiness, and they all were very happy about it. Why were they happy? Because Chappan Bhog, 56 items. In our Hindu culture, we have Chappan Bhog. When we offer to the god, we give 56 different types of food to eat. So the fish was so happy. Now we have food for a long time. We have such a big dead body lying in the river for us. Rudanti Kauravyaha Sarve. Rudanti means crying. Rava. Rava means screaming, shouting. And Go means the loudest voice, the loudest way of screaming and shouting. Who would there be? The wolves. Ooh, ooh, they were shouting and screaming, and they were crying and saying, "Hi, hi, Keshava." Oh my God, they were crying because if that body would be lying, the dead body would be on the land, this would be our dinner. But hi, this dead body is in the sea, in the river. So this is the true meaning of this. This is the beautiful true meaning of this. And this is how we can misinterpret the shlokas, the meanings of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, the Ramayana. So who can be the person who can really show us and explain us this translation of this beautiful shloka is a Sri Gurudev. People ask, if there is God and us humans, why do we need a guru in between to help us join? Or why can we directly just go to the God? I will conclude my speech after this story. You know, in the Sikh Dharma, in the Sikh religion, their guru was Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak one day went with his disciples to the Jagannatha temple for darshan in the Jagannath temple. And when they went to the Jagannath temple, Guru Nanak went in front of the Jagannath Murti, folded his hands and closed his eyes and started singing the Guru Ashtakam. And the Pandits, the priests of the Jagannath Mandir, they started looking at Guru Nanak, and they said, "What's wrong with him? He came here to Jagannath Mandir, to Bhagwan Jagannath himself, and instead of praying to Jagannath, he's singing Guru Ashtakam. He's doing the praises of his own Guru. Something is wrong with him." So they took Guru Nanak and brought him out. And then when they brought him out, they saw that his disciples were doing Guru Ashtakam in the lotus feet of Guru Nanak. So they said, it's not only the Guru, also the disciples, something is wrong with them. What is wrong with them? Why are they praising their Guru in front of Jagannath Mandir? All of them are crazy. So they asked Guru Nanak, God is here. Why are you praising to your Guru? Directly praise to God Jagannath? Then Guru Nanak smiled and he said, listen to this carefully. Guru Nanak told the priests, the Pandits there, can you touch the fire, the flames? Can you touch the flame directly with your bare hands? Then he said no. Then Guru Nanak gave the priest a stick, a wooden stick, and he said, okay, now touch the flame. So when the wooden stick started burning, but he could still hold the flame. He could still hold the flame, the priest. Then Guru Nanak said, the flame is God himself, Lord Shiva, Krishna, anyone, whoever you believe in. He is the supreme self. He is the divine self. And you can't come to God, you can't hold or reach God himself. And the stick is the medium, which is the Sri Gurudev, the Bhagavad Path, Sri Shankaracharya's lineage, all the gurus, your own personal guru. Those are the people who can help you reach to the fire, reach your goal, or hold the fire. That is the guru. As Gurudev, Puja Gurudev, His Holiness Vishnu Guru Mahamharata Maheshwara and Puja Gurudev always says, Guru Kripa Hi Kevalam Shishya Ananda Mangalam. We need a guru in our life. We need a guru to guide us, to show us, to make us one with that divine flame. Hope this session, this story was of some benefit for you, and wish you a wonderful day or evening or night. Much love. Hari Om. न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते तद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्था सन्न्यासयोगादते अच्युतसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दारं विपापं परमेष्णुभूतै यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमद्य सत्कृस्तं तत्रापि दह्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् निदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यं यो वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य परस्य महेश्वरः हरि ओं तत्सत्। ओम शलपुरज महादेव की जय। देवादिदेव देवेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्रीदीप नारायण भगवान की जय। हिंदू धर्म सम्राट परमानंद स्वामी श्री माधवानंद प्रभु सदगुरुदेव भगवान की जय। विश्व गुरु महामंडलेश्वर परमानंद स्वामी श्री महेश्वरानंद प्रभु योगिराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर